it's not your main source of income, but I feel like agriculture, especially, and it sounds like the same thing with y'all as it is with Harrison and I, is that it's almost in your blood. It's just in your genetics that you want to produce and raise livestock. You want to, work, work in the soil.
There's freedom in it. Yeah. So.
I'm Sterling.
I'm Harrison.
And this is Hard on the Paint by Big Country Equipment.
But kind of switching tracks here, what would you say, in both of y'all's opinions, is what's been your greatest achievement in agriculture and construction? And then what has been the hardest lesson for each one of you?
Well, I'll do the lesson one first.
Okay, go. Yeah.
We're very hands-on in everything that we do. It doesn't matter what it is. We're pretty much in the middle of it all the time. We got in a deal with a gentleman one time, and we were percentage owners. Mm-hmm. And we learned pretty quickly that we didn't have any control because we didn't have 51% of this. And it was an oil well. We were drilling a well. And he was doing things that we knew were wrong because we grew up right there where this was happening. We knew how to do it. We knew what needed to be done.
We felt like we're wrong, right?
Correct.
It may not have worked. Right? But yeah.
But we know what's worked and what does not work, and this isn't going to work, but we didn't have the say. And so we learned real quick that we lost money, and we do not like that at all. That's
Nobody does.
Nobody likes having to write a check and just throw it away. It's like paying
I'm
taxes.
going to knock on the thing, even though they told me I couldn't do that. Actually, they told Sterling they couldn't do that.
Did you tell them about reversing fans?
But
yeah, that was a rough one for us because writing that check, it wasn't even a huge amount, but it was just.
Yeah, and he paid us for working on the well, and it was a fair thing, right?
He didn't give us the runaround. It wasn't his. He just did what he thought it was the right thing to do, and he was the man in charge, and we weren't. And for us, that was not our MO.
We figured out real quick. We want to be. If we're going to lose on it, we want to be the ones that made the decision on.
It's our fault.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the way we are just in general. Is if we start something and it fails, it's nobody's fault but ours because we didn't try hard enough.
So your lesson there was be majority.
Be the majority.
Be the majority and have
a say.
Yeah. Have the abilities to say, no, we're going to do it this way.
Yeah.
And again,
kind of control your own destiny.
We do. Yeah,
because that way, if you fail, it's your fault.
Yes, we have control issues. Okay. Yes. Is this some sort of therapy?
Yeah, maybe a little.
We'll send you a bill after.
But no, that's and again, it might have turned out the exact same way.
And it could have. And like I said, it was a small thing. It wasn't a huge amount of money, but it was.
It's one of the things.
It was enough.
It was enough that it was a good, cheap life lesson.
It was.
Right? That we went, hey, look, we don't want to do that ever again.
Right. In agriculture, what's been y'all's biggest success there?
I think we get to look around and enjoy what our place looks like now versus what it used to. Okay, so we're not making a bunch of money with cows or hay or anything else.
But there's a lot to be said
is to take care of what, and for the most part, it's my grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, and so on, right? That they've had these places that we've gotten and been able to buy part of back, right? And that we can take and be good stewards of the land, right? Do things that they couldn't do because they were trying to pay for it, or they were trying to raise a family on it, or they were trying to do these things.
It was their living.
That's right. Yeah, it was their. Yeah, they made a living doing it. But again, nobody came to help. Nobody came to when they called. Nobody showed up, and they didn't call. Right? They didn't call for help. They just went and did it and worked.
A lot of delayed gratification.
Yeah. So we get to look and look at these places and look at. We cleared 480 acres of brush off of a place that my family's was deeded to them from Santa Ana. Okay? Yeah. So, and it's beautiful now, and it's grass. It looked like it's
I get the same type of gratification from clearing brush as I do mowing my lawn.
There is nothing better than rubbing mesquites.
And then,
it's instant.
Watching, seeing something start in a worse shape, and then improving it year over year, and then making it produce something is extremely gratifying. Even if, like what you're saying earlier, is it's not your main source of income, but I feel like agriculture, especially, and it sounds like the same thing with y'all as it is with Harrison and I, is that it's almost in your blood. It's just in your genetics that you want to produce and raise livestock. You want to,
There's
work,
freedom. There's
work in the
freedom in it.
soil.
There's
You know,
peace.
There's
there.
freedom in
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So the Scott Irish that came and ended up really conquering Texas, right? Came over the Appalachian Mountains and all. We've all got that blood in them. That group conquered America and conquered Texas when the Spanish couldn't and the French couldn't, and nobody could get it done, right? And so all that blood and that desire to have something and to make something grow. Our guys get on that are city boys, right? They come out and we've got the gambit working for us. Some of them grew up in the country, but we've got James was the most recent, right? That we put him on the tractor, the grain drill, and so they're planting. And then James goes out there. I swear to God, it was every day at noon or every day at
Get down there
6.
and
He's
look.
down there looking to see if something's growing or whatever.
Anything
And now
coming
it's
up yet,
green.
you
He's
know.
like, man, did you see that? See how pretty it is? Yeah, it's awesome.
That line of greens down through there.
Reaping
side by
what
side.
you sow.
Right,
I think
exactly. And just seeing that you helped build something, you helped.
Right.
Looking back and seeing accomplishment.
Right.
Quite often when you're sitting in an office and you're doing paperwork all day long, it's hard to look back and feel like you've done anything, but you're exhausted.
Right.
But when you're plowing and you're planting, he and I have a thing, be like, hey, I'm going to go plow. Nothing may need to be plowed, but we're going to go plow because that,
Yeah.
that is
You
where
can see it. You
Or
can see the
pick it up
job.
and
Grub
when you look
mesquite.
back,
I'm gonna
it's
go get
like,
on the excavator and
yeah,
grub.
this
Yeah.
is good.
yeah.
I did something.